to Channel 125.
We're going to check out tomorrow's pitching matchup between the Cubs and the Marlins. Game 3, the rubber match. A pair of righties, John Lackey, Paul Clemens. Lackey looking for his first win since June 8th, coming off a tough loss to the Cardinals in his last outing. Of course, was working with Contreras there for the first time around. But what would you like to see from Lackey tomorrow?
Well, I would like to see what we saw in the tail end of that start, where it was outstanding. Again, you know, part of the discussion in that ball game was the relationship between Lackey and Contreras and kind of getting on the same page. Not that they were out of whack, but it just kind of had that newness, that new feel to it. I think with Lackey, you know, things are settling in now, especially if Contreras is behind the plate tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know the answer to that question right now, but John Lackey's been a bulldog. I expect a big start from him once again. He's been in a great rhythm, and he's been putting out great start after start. So expect that again, especially when you give John the opportunity to watch a team. You know, like the Marlins, you don't see him every day, but the first 2 games of the series, he's analyzing swings, breaking these guys down, and he knows how to attack these guys. So look for a good dose of secondary pitches as well.
Any quick early scouting reports on Clemens?
Not much on Clemens. Again, this is a young man who's been kind of up and down. He's only made 1 start this year. He's making his 2nd start, so I think there'll be an opportunity to score some runs. But again, is he going to be in the zone?
Alrighty, well, it'll be the Cubs and the Marlins tomorrow afternoon. And for Todd Hollinsworth, I'm Kelly Kroll. Thanks for joining us here on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. We send it across town. The White Sox, Jason Benetti and Steve Stone on the call. Gentlemen.
Hey, Ralph Punzel.
Oh, hey, Ronnie.
Where are you headed?
Great Clips.
You're getting a haircut?
I checked in already. Using their online check-in.
Online check?
It saves you time.
You're getting a haircut.
Why? Thinking about applying to astronaut school.
That's cool.
Okay, I'll see you, Ronnie.
Save time every time. Download the online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Hate shopping for a used car because you feel like you might be buying someone else's problem? Well, with a Continental certified car, you don't have to worry. Just look for this. Buy with confidence, knowing that the car has been through an 80-point quality and safety inspection. Comes with a 30-day, 1,000-mile warranty. And get this, a 3-day exchange policy. So check out our huge selection of Continental certified cars only at Continental Motors. 10 brands, 8 locations, thousands of choices. Only at Continental Motors and ContinentalMotors.com.
Thanks to those of you just joining us on the main channel after the Cubs took care of the Marlins. There's a strike to Avi Garcia. The Sox were down 1-0 after 2 tonight. Came back with a run in the 4th on that Garcia RBI groundout. Took the lead in the 5th on a Melky Cabrera home run. The Blue Jays retaliated in the 6th with a Kevin Pillar RBI single, but the Sox retook the lead that stands now on a Frazier RBI hit in the 7th as Garcia shanks this one into center field. First hit tonight for Avi Garcia. Sox have 11.
And an insurance run would look awfully good here. It's a fastball, was right down the middle, and Avi able to keep the inning alive.
For Tyler Saladino. Ball 1, a breaking ball that stayed up on Storin, who comes in for Jesse Chavez, who gave up the lead run on a 2-hit 7th inning. And a balk call. Tonight's 2nd balk.
Well, if you missed it earlier and you weren't here, Carlos Rodon was also charged with a balk, and eventually it led to a run. This time Drew Storen not quite sure exactly what he did. And Russell Martin his opinion. Let's watch Storen. He came set twice, and that actually was a balk. Unlike, he said, once you come set at the waist, you can't then come set at the letters. And that's exactly what Gabe Morales is explaining to him. I think when Pete Walker, the pitching coach, takes a look at that, he'll realize that that was indeed a balk.
There have been now 66 balks called, excluding other play tonight. 66 balks.
I would hope so, because in this game it would lengthen it out a touch.
Yeah, well, the 2 tonight count against that number. 64 coming into play tonight. So 2 here this evening. A third, we would be approaching record territory.
I remember that 54th balk, and I got to tell you,
it was
a bad call.
I thought you were going to say it was egregious.
I would have.
Saladino lofts it left side and into foul territory on a play.
Just a base hit here, and the all-important insurance run will score. And it would come with the aid of a balk.
We welcome you to U.S. Cellular Chicken Coop with multiple balks tonight.
You don't see 2 balks in the same game very often.
To get our friends at Elias on that, or just a guy named Elias.
Give him a call. He started in Person of Interest.
3-1 to Saladino. Garcia at second. Storen hits him.
Got hit by a breaking ball. It caught the lead shoulder. And he winds up aboard. And now Josh Donaldson comes out to talk with Drew Storen. This one just slipped out of his hand because Russell Martin wanted this low and away, and this one just got away from him.
2011, Drew Storen saved 43 games at a 2.75 ERA. He's up over 5 this year as Tim Anderson grounds it to third. Donaldson just had the bag. Foot just clipped the bag from Travis, and the inning is over. Sox lead 2, lead by 1 after 8.
Some people think the beer you bring says a lot about who you are. If that's the case, this beer says you like drinking beer. Great tasting, less filling, beer. Spelled different because it's brewed different.
Make your home happy with great July 4th savings right now at Lowe's. Like up to 35% off appliances $396 or more. Plus get a Whirlpool intuitive touch control washer and dryer for only $599 each right now at Lowe's.
The Honda Take Home a CR-V sales event is here with incredible deals. Loaded with standard features like Bluetooth hands-free link and a multi-angle rear-view camera. It's no wonder the CR-V was named a Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Buy for 2016. Hurry in to the Take Home a CR-V sales event and get a great deal today at your local Honda dealer.
Yeah, not us.
Nah, no reruns here.
Yeah, we have X1 from Xfinity.
I think we'll just stick with our TV shows.
Don't fall for DirecTV. Get 4 times more TV shows and movies on demand with Xfinity. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
Every night, get ready for the most dynamic show in Chicago. Your city, your teams, your show. This is Sportsnet Central every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight.
Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Todd Frazier starting at first base tonight. Drills one into left field. Tim Anderson scores. That's the go-ahead run, and David Robertson is coming in to try to make it the winning run. David out for the 30th time. 18 for 20 in save opportunities. There you look at the numbers. Left-handers haven't done much. And he's going to start with the bottom part of the order. Travis, Goins, and to the top with Carrera. And hopefully Donaldson to hit tomorrow.
Sox have lost their last 3 one-run games. Trying to reverse that. There were 3 of them out of the 4 losses on that road trip. Travis first with a single to left and a single to right tonight. After Duke went the 1 inning and struck out 2 and bridged the gap from the 7th to the 9th. Robertson to Travis. First pitch swinging, fly ball, lazily hit. Adam Eaton. 1 down.
Now it's time for a White Sox upcoming schedule, brought to you by Travel Wisconsin. Plan your fun today at travelwisconsin.com. And the Blue Jays here for 2 more. Then the off day, and the Twins come to town Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's it for the homestand, and that's it for Travel Wisconsin.
And that's it for Ryan Goins as well. He's going to be pinch hit for. Darwin Barney. Barney, Smoke, and Tolley, the available players on the bench. It is Barney, who's a .295 hitter, coming in.
And you've got to watch the bunt from Darwin Barney. He does it very well. I don't remember him in his days with the Cubs. A terrific defender. He was a second baseman in those days. You'd like Saladino in a little closer at third.
The only oddity here is Barney was the lone right-handed bat on the bench. Smoke is a switch hitter. Tolley is a left-hander. And it's the right-hander Barney for the matchup with Robertson. Nothing in 2 off a breaking ball high.
That curveball hung up there, and Darwin swung through it. There's James Shields coming off a pretty strong performance against the Red Sox in Boston.
0-2. Upstairs. Sox took the lead tonight on a Todd Frazier RBI single in the 7th with 2 out.
Barney 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter, and I figure they could always use Smoke for Carrera if Barney were to get on. Just able to stay alive as he went out, and that
he
ball's
didn't
alive.
touch that ball. It's a live ball. There was no signal from the plate umpire Morales, and he is safe at first.
And Robin's going to argue this one. They're going to meet.
Morales let it play out. We'll take a look. Oh, it looked like it changed direction.
Absolutely. It looked like he got a piece of that ball, and hopefully, and I don't think they can take a look at it, but that ball definitely changed directions.
And now they are going to wave him back.
Yeah, if you take a look at it, we'll slow it down for you. Looked to me like it changed directions, and John Gibbons now is giving him an earful. And he gets run out of this one.
Yeah, he's going to have to watch the rest.
Now figuring once you get run, you might as well talk to Gabe Morales. He's talking with Ted Barrett. He's already been thrown out.
Get your money's worth. Originally called drop third strike and safe at first. Now a foul ball for Darwin Barney as Gibbons finishes his soliloquy. Here's another look at it, slowed down even more and zoomed in.
It's a curveball. Barney goes out. Looks right there like it changes directions after he swung. And in fact, if he just flat out missed it, I don't think he'd have been standing in the batter's box. I think he realized that he tipped it. Otherwise, if you miss it, flat out miss it, you're going to first base. You're not going to wait for an umpire call. He didn't do that.
Back to it. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Robertson. Check swing. That was part of Robin Ventura's argument. He said the guy didn't go anywhere.
Yep.
Robertson to Barney. 2 and 2. Now full. 4th reliever used tonight for the White Sox. Carrera on deck. And some folks who are fans of the team from the north have a little glimmer of hope in the 9th. 3 and 2. Check swing. No go. Ball 4.
The appeal to Angel Hernandez. It's a high tight fastball. Barney didn't even come close to swinging.
Maybe a choice word or two on the way to 90 feet. 1 on, 1 out for Carrera. You mentioned earlier his ability to handle the bat.
Yeah, I don't think with 1 out he's thinking about laying one down here, but just in case, Saladino is in at the cut of the grass at 3rd.
At the very least, a pretty good contact option for the Blue Jays. Carrera shoots it through the left side. 2 on, 1 out.
First hit of the night. It's a fastball on the outer 3rd, and Robin out there to have a talk about what they want to do with Donaldson.
Even if he wanted to send Don Cooper, he couldn't. Don Cooper was ejected.
He was gone, arguing a balk call earlier.
So Josh Donaldson, who has been absolutely scolding the baseball recently, a hit in 14 of his last 15, has a pair of career hits against David Robertson, and both are home runs.
I remember one, if not both, to right center field in Toronto.
To 3rd. Saladino knocks it down. The tag. No save.
Rick Renteria wants to check to see if the replay shows that he got him before he got in or not. Took a dive at him, but he tagged him in the body, and Robin wants him to take a look. He's got nothing to lose by it.
This should show us.
Well, it's awfully close, and remember, the call on the field is safe.
That's going to be tough to overturn.
And from that angle, this would be the definitive angle.
You can't see where the hand hits the bag. Well,
in that case, looked like he got him, but
the hesitation is, does the hand only hit the bag when it collapses forward, or does it hit the bag earlier? And you can't pair the two to make one time matched angle. You got to do it off the angle you have.
Well, if they call him out here, John Gibbons could get thrown out again.
Get thrown out of the clubhouse for his anger in his office.
This one's going to take a while because they're looking at it, slowing it down, and see if there is definitive proof. Boy, it's close at third.
You can't get both the tag and the hand in one shot. It's either bases loaded, 1 out, or 2 down.
It's really hard. There, for an instant, it looked like he might have had him, but you look at the hand. Marlo Hale, most likely the acting skipper. Darwin Barney talking it over with Saladino.
This is a huge call. Encarnacion's next. Robertson trying to stay loose as the review continues. Sox took the lead on an RBI single from Todd Frazier in the 7th inning. Trying to hang on to it tonight against the Jays.
Looks like it could very well be one of those calls where if he was called out, it would stand. He was called safe. So let's see if it stands or if it's overturned.
Well, either way, you can't argue that they haven't done their due diligence.
No, they're looking at this one as long and hard as they can.
Barney and Saladino might decide it. They've been talking for a while over at third. Here is the call. Safe at third. Bases loaded off the single from Donaldson, his 2nd hit. Three minutes, 10 seconds of review. And now the heartbeats quicken. Robertson with the bases loaded around him against Encarnacion, who's just 1 for his last 14 and has never hit David Robertson very well. One ball, no strikes. Barney at third, Carrera at second, Donaldson at first.
Encarnacion's grounded into 8 double plays this year.
The Jays lead baseball with 72 double plays rolled into. Ball and a strike. This has gotten tense fast.
Here with the bases loaded, Encarnacion has been as good as there is around.
Robertson glares at his 33-year-old prey, Encarnacion. 1-1. Ball and 2 strikes.
Well, it was a good spot to throw it. It was just barely nicked the plate, but it was up and in, and Encarnacion could not catch up to it there. A repeat wouldn't be a real bad situation.
Ball and 2 strikes. Bases loaded, 1 down. Hammered foul.
Wanted a fastball away, and he got it there. And Michael Saunders in the on-deck circle.
Feels like the last week of Sox games have been played with the bases loaded one way or the other. 1-2 for Robertson. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Saunders, who's been on twice, lies in wait. Who will it be a moment to remember for? Robertson to Encarnacion. 2-2 is low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The lead on the line. Bases loaded, 1 out, 3-2. Encarnacion awaits. He struck him out. Robertson's an out away.
4 strikeouts tonight for Encarnacion, none bigger than that one. As he put it on the outer third, it was at the knees. He swung through it. And now 1 more out to get. Good location. A 4-bagger for Encarnacion, and Avila wants to have a word with David Robertson.
The opposition is Michael Saunders, who's been on twice tonight and has scored twice. He's in the top 20 in Major League Baseball in on-base percentage. He gets a base here, the game's at least tied. Robertson popped him up. Saladino and Anderson, and it's Tim Anderson grabbing the final out. Robertson wriggles free, and the Sox win the opener. 3-2 your final.
Robbie got that pitch in on his hands. It was off the plate exactly where he wanted it, and he got the pop-up and miraculously got out of a very tough jam. The Sox win the opener of the series, and they win a 1-run game.
Back to 500, 37 up, 37 down. The Sox have taken all 4 this season against the Blue Jays. So, for our director, Jim Angio, our producer, Mike Leary, our associate producer, Dave Ross, our tech manager, Mark Harper, and the executive producer, Jim Corno Jr., he's Steve Stone. I'm Jason Benetti saying so long from U.S. Cellular Field. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Good night.
Want to see how cool I am? Meet my new friends. Happy face, fist, rainbow. Send.
You can't choose how cool your dad is.
Check out the selfie I took of you.
Dad, that's not a selfie.
Yeah, it is. I took it myself.
But at least you can choose 2 of your favorites from McDonald's McPick 2 menu.
Like the new jalapeno McChicken, medium fries, 6-piece chicken McNuggets made with all white meat, or a classic double cheeseburger. Choose any 2 for just $3. Only at McDonald's.
This is our point of view. If there's a bar, raise it. Recognized by U.S. News and World Report as the best upscale midsize car for the money. This is the Acura TLX, and this is how we make it.
Visit your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Acura dealer for attractive offers on the TLX.
From the first building block to the last coat of paint. Menards is here to help. Get an 11% rebate on everything in the store, even sale prices. Cool off and save energy with an 11% rebate on Hunter ceiling fans. Brighten up your outdoor spaces and save 11% on motion-activated outdoor wall lights from Patriot Lighting. Save big money and get an 11% rebate on everything, even sale prices. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Like every other kid in Chicago, I grew up with big dreams. I was a kid who remembers going to White Sox games with friends and family, screaming at Sox home runs as fireworks boomed during hot summer nights. A kid who once broadcast games for his high school radio station and somehow now calls games for the hometown team he loves. This is our White Sox team, with players who also grew up with big dreams that are now real at this ballpark. My name's Jason Donetti, and I'm a White Sox fan.
White Sox baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. This is White Sox Postgame Live, presented by Subaru.
Fireworks night here at U.S. Cellular Field. Certainly some fireworks late in this ball game here tonight. Nervous moments in the top of the ninth inning, but the White Sox hang on and get the 3-2 victory here on Comcast Sportsnet. Hello and welcome. It is Subaru White Sox Postgame Live here with Bell and Bill Melton. I'm Chuck Arfine. Woo! Bases loaded. One out, David Robertson. I mean, he has actually converted 9 of his last save opportunities. Sometimes they're easy, sometimes they're tough. This was a little tough here tonight.
Well, what I liked was the fact that he threw that cutter on a 3-2 pitch to Encarnacion, and you had talked about it, that he was probably the hottest hitter in the American League. So it looked pretty rough right there with the bases loaded, but that was really a good pitch right there. And then, of course, getting Saunders to pop it up. That's an ending to a ball game that, you know, back and forth. I mean, both of these teams, you know, didn't score that much. White Sox got 11 or 12 hits, left some runners in scoring position, and so did the Jays.
Yeah, let's show you what happened there at that ninth inning. Keep this in mind. Encarnacion has 7 home runs in the last 11 games coming in. This Blue Jays team hit 5 home runs in their last game, and so they came in feeling really good. That was a great pitch. That was the one you talked about. And then they got Saunders, and the game was over. Bases loaded, and they don't score.
Well, he ran that in on his hands. That's that little cutter right there. A better cutter on 3-2. Encarnacion. That's a tough pitch. That's a pitch he throws a lot on the outside corner to right-handed hitters. And, you know, the only guy I've seen hit that pitch, of course, is Donaldson. We were in Toronto last year, and he hit out of right field to lose a ball game. But that, again, that's an excellent cutter he had right there and a great time to throw it. And a tough time to throw it with bases loaded.
This is a tough week for the White Sox when you consider who their pitchers are facing. Yeah. We just had 4 games against Boston, #1 offense in baseball. The Jays are right up there, about number 5 or 6 in all of baseball. Let's show you the pitching matchup because Carlos Rodon did a good job here. He gives up 2 runs in this game, and they're able to beat a guy who, Aaron Sanchez, 7-1 on the season. Oh, actually, I don't know if he doesn't get the loss, though. But still, Aaron Sanchez, 7-1, hadn't lost in 2 months. And Carlos Rodon, the way he threw tonight, your thoughts on how he pitched?
Well, he pitched good. I mean, if you look at the results, he only gave up a couple of runs, but 115 pitches in 5 1/3. That's a bit of an overload right there. So I think he wished he'd have probably got ahead of hitters a little bit quicker. He finds himself getting behind hitters and having to throw probably too many pitches. But, you know, he's got such a dominating slider. You saw it in a couple of times right there. Then his fastball. But there's that slider down and in. That's his real out pitch, along with the fact that you throw a fastball in the inside corner. You don't know if it's a slider or a fastball right away, and it's tough to pick up. That's why he basically gets a lot of strikeouts, and that's why he throws a lot of pitches, because that pitch right there is really a strikeout pitch and a wipeout pitch. He likes to backdoor it once in a while, but if he misses, he has to come back with the fastball. But I think it really has a lot more to do with, as long as he's around the plate, not bouncing it up there, that still is an awful lot of pitches, 115.
He wasn't happy when he left the game, and the reason being because in that 6th inning, there was a balk called. There are 2 ejections in this game, John Gibbons and Don Cooper. Cooper was not happy about this, so here it was in the 6th inning. You had a man on first base, and he's called for balk right there. So Saunders was on first. He eventually made his way to third. And then Pilar with this could have ended the inning, and Rodon, so close. That scored a run.
Well, that's a heck of a play right there by Frazier at first base. He's normally a third baseman, and making a play like that was just outstanding. But again, Rodon got over there in time.
Yeah.
He just missed the bag with the first step. He was going, getting there as fast as he possibly could, but they scratched out a run, and there's nothing you can do there except for get back. I think Coop came out a couple of times to kind of calm him down. And generally after a balk, I think a pitching coach likes to go out to a young guy. Looked like, Carlos was a little upset about it, which is fine. But he wanted to make sure at his young age that, that's not the end of the game. We got a long way to go.
All right, well, the White Sox with runners in scoring position, they had been 0 for 12. You had Todd Frazier, who came into this game 3 for 35. They get to the 7th inning. A man was in scoring position. You'll see Tim Anderson, he led it off with this double. They call this a double, almost an error there by Donaldson. He gets to second base. He's on third. And what do you think about this? Should he have tagged here or tried to, or is that too quick?
You got to be a pretty good veteran base runner to go ahead and beat that out. I think once he finds out, he doesn't trust his speed just yet at a young age. He probably could have gone when Encarnacion hit the ground, but usually that's contact and go. But the White Sox, something like that stands out only for the fact they're having trouble scoring runs.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that'd be probably no big deal. Just a young guy didn't want to be over aggressive because if he's thrown out at home, he looks bad. So, but not going, He was waiting for Frazier to get a base hit. How's that?
He saved the day to Todd Frazier, his first multi-hit game in a month, but it was good to see him finally get one. Our UPS Store taking care of business player of the game, Melky Cabrera. He was a triple shy of a cycle, and believe it or not, this is the second time he's done this in 3 games, being a triple shy of a cycle. How hot is he right now at the plate?
Well, he's on fire. Again, I bring it up often about how consistent he really is, and they don't have any one way they can pitch him. It's kind of when he's in a slump, he has a tough time as he swings the bad pitches. But when he's swinging a bat like that, this is where his power comes into play. He's a good left-handed. I think he hits breaking balls really, really well from the right side. I don't see him as much, but to be a switch hitter, that's a lot of things you got to think about from both sides of the plate. So I think it balances out on both sides of the plate. That's why I like him. He's pretty consistent either way.
Well, a lot of teams don't want to face the Blue Jays. This White Sox team does. They're 6-0 in their last 6 games against Toronto, 4-0 so far this year. Stick around. We're going to hear from Robin Ventura, get Bill's key to the game. Look at this city we live in, Chicago, Illinois.
Beautiful.
Back with more in a moment.
White Sox Postgame Live is presented by Subaru. Confidence in motion.
There it is. This is where I met your grandpa. Right under this tree.
Some things are worth holding on to.
They're hugging the tree.
That's why we got a Subaru.
Was it that tree?
The 2016 Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Want to see how cool I am? Meet my new friends. Happy face, fist, rainbow. Send.
You can't choose how cool your dad is.
Check out the selfie I took of you.
Dad, that's not a selfie.
Yeah, it is. I took it myself.
But at least you can choose 2 of your favorites from McDonald's McPick 2 menu.
Like the new jalapeno McChicken, medium fries, 6-piece chicken McNuggets made with all white meat, or a classic double cheeseburger. Choose any 2 for just $3. Only at McDonald's.
Danley's is offering an incredible deal. Get $1,500 off any Danley's garage. With over 200,000 satisfied customers since 1959, Danley's is the best garage builder in Chicago for price, quality, and service. That's right, all sizes and all styles are on sale now. And with $1,500 off any Danley's garage, we are keeping money in your pocket. So call Danley's today, 773-GARAGE.
In your garage and quality, depend on Danley. That's why we're number one.
Find it. Go out there and find that place. Because only you know where you're going. This isn't a dress rehearsal. This is life.
Yeah.
And it begins when you find your fit.
There it is, fireworks night here at U.S. Cellular Field. The White Sox, they're not on fire necessarily, but they have won 4 out of their last 5 games and 6 in a row against the Blue Jays dating back to last season. We're back here on Subaru White Sox Postgame Live. Your Subaru key to the game. What is your key there, Bill?
Well, the White Sox have been getting themselves a lot of trouble with giving up walks. I'm talking about the whole staff, not only the starters and the bullpen, but everybody. But
most in the majors in June.
Most in the majors. Careful of jaywalking. We didn't want to walk a lot of guys. You know, Carlos, he walked 2, and I think Davidson walked 1. I'm not done. I think Duke walked 1. So really 4 or 5 walks. Again, that's still too many.
Yeah.
But sometimes those walks come in tough situations where you have to work around the guy. But you got to just continue to keep cutting those things down. This is a good offensive ball club right here in the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, that was a good key by you because you had to be careful, and they were careful, and they didn't walk that many guys. All right, let's hear from Robin Ventura. This is Robin Ventura speaking here at U.S. Cellular Field. This is brought to you by Xfinity. His post-game press conference. Here we go.
Robin, how important was that, particularly for Todd Frazier, who's really been in quite a rut?
Well, you know, to knock a guy in and, you know, be part of get the go-ahead run, you know, he'd been scuffling, knocking in runs right there. He's been hitting homers, but, you know, I think the base hit up the middle started it. Just a good feeling of solid contact, and you hit something that is a hit and it doesn't have to go out of the park. So, you know, it's a good sign. You know, I think mentally he's good no matter what, but it's good when you start swinging it and you see it visually that it goes through and nobody's catching it. So, you know, that's a step in the right direction. It makes, you know, I think it makes everybody else feel good too.
Was that a ninth inning with all the machinations a little strange out there with everything that went on?
There was a lot going on. I think, you know, the foul ball and box, and, you know, we don't get that too much. So it's there was a lot going on. But, you know, especially with the play with Donaldson, once you know, load it up, I think Robbie, you know, he bowed up and got, you know, Eddie, that you don't like seeing those guys come up with guys on, especially, you know, bases loaded. And I thought he, you know, he reached back, got a little extra. And, you know, that's again, you're looking at a fearsome lineup.
That 3-2 pitch there, it was pretty perfectly located to Encarnacion there.
Yeah, and you know, I think when you see guys a lot, I know, you know, with David having been in the East, you know, they've seen him a lot. And I think that's even more impressive that he's able to locate that.
Got 4 out of 5 now. When do you start to believe that kind of...
Well, we can score some more runs. I think that's the biggest thing. You know, we did scratch it through, and I think our pitchers came through, and, you know, that back end was you know, grinding the whole way. They did it in Boston, too. But, you know, Dookie back in that A spot was, you know, that was a big inning, you know, going through those guys.
What happened there in the 6th, the balk call, I think it was?
He said he didn't stop.
I mean, what did you think of him other ones there?
I thought he was great. You know, anytime he got into a little bit of a jam, he was able to reach back and get something a little, like, velocity-wise, he was able. But, you know, he just looked free, I think, in his mind. He did, you know, have a nice slider tonight. I think he had some swing and miss with that, which is, you know, he needs that. He needs that to get going and get him deeper into games.
Sox bullpen, 3 1/3 scoreless innings here tonight. And by the way, Mark Burley was here, former Sox, obviously, former Blue Jay. I had a chance to talk to him for a little bit. I asked him, would you be considering coming back. He says he has not filled out his retirement papers yet, and then said, maybe I'd come back and play for the White Sox out of the bullpen, maybe the Jays out of the bullpen. I said, are you serious? He says, I might be. I might not be, too.
Well, that sounds like a Mark Burley conversation right there. You know him pretty well. That would, to me, would be the type of answer he would give to any kind of question.
Yeah.
So you just have to leave and say, hi, Mark, how you doing? How you enjoying retirement?
Well, he thoroughly enjoyed having me wondering what is he really talking about. But who knows? Maybe he'll come back and play again. All right, going to break here on Subaru White Sox Postgame Live as the Sox take it 3-2. It's all about winning series right now, getting this thing headed in the right direction, and it seems like maybe they are.
To the core. Crown Royal Regal Apple flavored whiskey.
When you were 8, you wanted to fly. When you were 13, to be a rock star. At 20, an artist. All these years later, you realize you had it right the first time. The 2016 Q50 from Infiniti. Lease the all-wheel drive Q50 2-liter turbo for $319 a month or finance at 0% APR at your local Infiniti retailer.
$1 window siding and door installation, 102 Pine Street.
Go, guys.
It's Feldco to the rescue with $1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors. Plus no money down and no interest until 2018. It's Feldco's biggest sale of the year.
That's $1.
$1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors.
Hurry, $1 installation ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
They say an old-fashioned is served in a 10-ounce glass with a maraschino cherry and an orange slice. Actually, it's served in a room with a brick fireplace and a deer head mounted on the wall by a waitress named Diane. This is a Wisconsin supper club. When you're having fun, we're having fun.
This 4th of July, Nissan's giving you 1,000 more reasons to celebrate. Choose excitement, capability, safety, and get holiday bonus cash. During Nissan's Free to Choose event, get up to 1,000 holiday bonus cash on top of existing offers, like a $189 per month lease on road. Hurry! Bonus cash ends July 5th. Shop at your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com today.
To the core. Crown Royal Regal Apple flavored whiskey.
Hey, Sox fans, show your team pride with White Sox checking and an official White Sox MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Sox to learn more. Remember, FDIC. Okay, the White Sox get the victory here, 3-2, a tight one. Boy, if you think about how close they came to winning yesterday in Boston, they could have been on quite a roll here, 5 wins in a row, but 4 out of 5, that's not bad right now for the White Sox.
I think the important thing is they kept Toronto in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Boy, if you keep them in the ballpark, you got a chance to win. You saw it right there, 10 or 11 hits right there. They only scored 2 runs. It's usually when they hit 2 or 3 home runs a game is where you get wiped out. So we're able to keep them in the park, so that's a huge plus.
All right, our Honda winning box score goes to the White Sox. I'll show you what they did offensively. So no Jose Abreu here tonight. He had that leg fatigue by getting hit by a pitch on Wednesday. He did play Thursday, but it got worse, so they're hoping it's just a day-to-day thing. So Tim Anderson gets the double and scored the go-ahead run. Melky Cabrera, we talked about him going 3 for 4. Todd Frazier, stolen base. He has more stolen bases than doubles. Who would have predicted that this year with Frazier?
Yeah, he runs well, and I like the way he kind of sneaks off of first base and kind of pretends like he's not going anywhere, and he kind of times it when he sees the pitcher not looking at him. And, you know, he could steal probably 10, 15 bases if he had a chance. But look at Brent Laurie.
Yeah.
There he is, 3 singles. this is a guy that we need to get going too.
Yeah, Laurie and Cabrera, both former Blue Jays, and they both get 6 hits here combined tonight. Okay, let's look at the who's hot, who's not, the Four Seasons, who's hot, who's not. And we're looking at R.A. Dickey, who's going to be starting tomorrow for the Blue Jays, who in their careers are hot. Jose Abreu, hopefully he's back in the lineup. He's batting .417 with 3 homers, 5 RBIs, and he's been red hot all month long. After Encarnacion, he's probably the second hottest hitter in baseball. Todd Frazier batting .308, but who's not hot, Adam Eaton and Brett Laurie. We'll look at tomorrow's starters because it's Miguel Gonzalez going up against R.A. Dickey. Gonzalez looked really good in his last start. You see the numbers there for the season, but in his last start against the Red Sox, he goes 6 2/3. We need to see more of that kind of stuff. Starters going 6 2/3 or more.
Consistency is what we need to see.
1 run, 4 hits. What do you think about the way Gonzalez has been pitching lately?
Well, what you'd really like to see maybe is 4 or 5 good starts, and then you can have a couple of bad ones or a bad one. You might be able to go longer than the 4 or 5, but you got to get 4 or 5 good starts out of these guys. And what you really want to do is you want to stay out of that bullpen.
Yeah.
We're in the bullpen a lot. And it's because some of our pitchers throw a lot of pitches in the 5th and 6th innings, so we got to go down there early. So if Gonzalez can give us 7 or 8 innings and not give up the home runs, again, that's the key, is the home runs. We'll be all right.
I know you're not a pitcher, but when it's a hot day like it's supposed to be tomorrow, if you're a knuckleball pitcher, does that have any effect on how you throw it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the times I've seen Dickey throw, like last year, he didn't throw the ball that well. If it really moves a lot, you got a lot of problems hitting him, but if it's flat and it only moves maybe one time, you can generally hit a guy like that pretty good because the ball's only coming in about 75, 80 miles an hour. It's when it moves at the last minute. It's like a cutter, moves at the last minute or sinks down. So Dickey's had some good years. Last couple of years, I believe he's pretty much struggle with us. That means he doesn't have it's a field pitch.
I think earlier this season they got to him big time. Okay, and by the way, tomorrow, Zach Collins, the Sox #1 pick, will be throwing out the first pitch. He recently, actually just today, it became official. He signed his rookie deal, or what do you say, his minor league deal with the White Sox. So he's a lefty bat. He's a power hitter. He's a catcher. I'm excited to see him eventually up here with the White Sox in the major leagues.
Yeah, I'd like to see a good, strong left-handed hitter kind of get through the minor league, make the adjustment. Some guys maybe need a year down there, maybe 2 years. Some guys can just come up in 6 months or 3 months, maybe in September. You never know. If he's hitting the ball that well, let me tell you, if he's hitting the ball that well in the minor leagues, they'll jump him up here just to travel with the ball club. Doesn't mean he has to play, just to get a feel. And next spring training will be the time they'll make a decision on what to do. Probably minor league time, but nobody's really seen him. I haven't seen him. You haven't seen him, and I'm not really sure the coaching staff has seen that much of him. But that's a big bat. They could use a big left-handed hitter, and that's what the White Sox hope he can do.
All right, that's a wrap from U.S. Cellular Field as the White Sox beat the Blue Jays 3-2. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
There it is. This is where I met your grandpa. Right under this tree.
Some things are worth holding on to.
They're hugging the tree.
That's why we got a Subaru.
Was it that tree?
The 2016 Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
From the first building block to the last coat of paint, Menards is here to help. Get an 11% rebate on everything in the store, even sale prices. Update your driveway and save 11% on driveway sealers and fillers from Seal Best. Give your home a fresh new look and save 11% on all Dutch Boy exterior paints. Save big money and get an 11% rebate on everything, even sale prices. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. We built this thingy. We built this thingy on tech that's old. We built this thingy. But we built.
Yeah, Xfinity built this newer thingy that lets me search with my voice.
We're good. Don't fall for DirecTV. Find shows faster with the X1 voice remote, only from Xfinity. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
You cannot own a child of God. No, you cannot.
Free State of Jones is powerful and poignant.
This fight is for everybody.
Academy Award winner Matthew McConaughey commands the screen. A film that can only be described as epic. Now,
The winds are shifting.
Experience the incredible untold story.
There's plenty left to fight for.
Free State of Jones, rated R.
The Honda Take Home a CR-V sales event is here with incredible deals. Loaded with standard features like Bluetooth hands-free link and a multi-angle rearview camera. It's no wonder the CR-V was named a Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Buy for 2016. Hurry in to the Take Home a CR-V sales event and get a great deal today at your local Honda dealer.
I'm Michael Stevens, midfielder on your Chicago Fire, and you're watching CSN Chicago.
I don't know why I was traded, but I would like to tell him thank you.
Derrick Rose draws some laughs from the New York media in his introductory news conference. Hey everyone, I'm Sierra Santos, and welcome to Sportsnet Central presented by GMC. Wilson Contreras goes deep again, and Javi Baez brings back memories of Derek Jeter as the Cubs look to snap their 4-game skid down in Miami. Mullet night on the south side where the White Sox were just a hair better than the Blue Jays. And another salary cap casualty for the Blackhawks as they're forced to deal a fan favorite. It's all on Sportsnet Central, starting right now.
You're connected to Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
The need for certain players or certain guys irreplaceable, and there's some real tough decisions we have to make. I think everybody loves that feistiness that he brings every game. So he's an irreplaceable guy in that regard, and but I still think that when we get those discussions, we'll see how it all plays out. But I think everybody has an appreciation for what he brings.
We begin with this CSN News alert. Joel Quenneville proclaimed Andrew Shaw irreplaceable in his postseason news conference. Well, today the Hawks apparently decided otherwise. They traded the fan favorite to the Montreal Canadiens for a pair of second-round picks in this year's draft. Shaw, who is set to become a restricted free agent, was rumored to be seeking over $4 million per year on a new deal. Here's CSNChicago.com's Tracy Myers on the Hawks' latest move.
If that 4.5 was what Sean, his camp wanted, yeah, that was going to be difficult for the Blackhawks to do. Obviously, they've got a lot of considerations. They don't have a ton of cap space. They also have other guys that they need to get. And let's also keep this in mind. It's not so much also about this year. It's about next year, too. If they get Artemi Panarin to agree to something now and they can get him for some money, I mean, it's going to cost them. And they have to make sure that they have enough space for next year, too. So, there's a lot of factors that could have come into play. But, in April when the season ended, we thought this could happen. And here we are.
And Stan Bowman told reporters tonight during the draft, quote, "It's a very tough day, a difficult decision to make. We love Andrew. Everything he's brought to the Blackhawks, he's been the ultimate warrior for us. It was evident long ago that something was going to have to give with the money that we have already committed and where the cap is. Whether we make moves remains to be seen, but we don't have a salary cap problem." In other news, Derrick Rose was introduced as a member of the Knicks this afternoon. He will wear number 25, the number he wore in high school at Simeon. Rose talked about how he felt when he heard the news that his hometown team traded him to the Knicks.
It was just an emotional time for me. Chicago, it was more than just like a home. Like it grew me into the man that I am today. All my family and friends are back there. That's one of the reasons why I changed my number to 25. It's like I'm playing in New York, but I want to bring something from Chicago with me out here. Still don't feel real. Driving in and just seeing my name on the billboard or seeing my picture on the billboard or on the screen outside of the building, it kind of blew me away a little bit. Like, it probably really don't hit me until I step on the floor and I actually have a jersey on.
The White Sox narrowly captured a sweep over the Red Sox in Boston, but instead headed back home content with winning 3 out of 4 in the series. Also encouraging was the strong outing from James Shields, his best since joining the organization. So the Sox would try to use that momentum to begin a weekend set against the Blue Jays at U.S. Cellular Field. And guess who was in the house to see his former team square off? None other than beloved fan favorite Mark Burley. And speaking of southpaws, Carlos Rodon making his first career start against Toronto, looking for his first win since May 22nd. Second inning, Blue Jays with a pair of aboard for Kevin Pillar, and the Toronto center fielder clears the infield with an RBI knock. Jays strike first. Fast forward to the 5th, game tied at 1. Melky Cabrera digs in with 2 outs, facing Aaron Sanchez. He tattoos a hanging curveball to the bullpen bar in right. Melky's 8th long ball gives the Sox their first lead. Next half inning, a man on first with 1 out for Troy Tulowitzki. Rodon's first pitch is called a strike, or is it? First base umpire Angel Hernandez calls a balk on Rodon. It's questionable call to say the least, but Michael Sanders is awarded an extra 90 feet. After Tulo flew out and advanced the runner to third, Pillar would drive home his second run of the night. He slides into first to avoid a tag by Rodon. RBI single number 2. The balk ultimately comes around to cost the Sox. Sox half of the 7th. Tim Anderson led off the inning with a double. He was on third with 2 outs for Todd Frazier. And the fill-in first baseman comes through with a clutch single into left. The seesaw battle continues. It's 3-2 White Sox. Top of the 9th, last at-bats for the Jays. David Robertson looking for save number 19. Bases empty, 1 out. Robertson issues a free pass to pinch hitter Darwin Barney. The next man out, Ezekiel Carrera singles with 2 men on. Then Josh Donaldson smashes a line drive to third. Tyler Saladino can't handle it. Barney beats the race for the bag. Robin Ventura would ask for a replay, but the call stood. It's a single to load the bases. No room for error. Robertson's payoff pitch to Edwin Encarnacion. Encarnacion goes down swinging for the 4th time in the game. A big second out. The final hope for Toronto now, it comes in the form of Sanders. He pops out on the very pitch he sees. It's a routine catch for Anderson at short, and that's the ball game. The White Sox survive a thriller right down to the very end. They're back to 500 thanks to a 3-2 edging of the Blue Jays.
Felt good. Squaring balls up. That's what I've been trying to do. Few and far between. Seems the only ones I square up go over the wall, and which is fine. But at the same time, you got to get those ones in between too as you go on through the year. And you know, it was a good day today. You know, all around, guys came back. Pitching was great, and hopefully I can build off this.
We'll have game 2 of the White Sox and Blue Jays for you tomorrow right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Join Chuck and Bill for White Sox pregame live at 12:30. Miguel Gonzalez takes the hill at 1 o'clock. And the Cubs were charting in unfamiliar territory. They entered Friday riding a 4-game losing streak, the largest of the season so far. And missing from the lineup for a second straight game was Anthony Rizzo, who's been dealing with reoccurring back stiffness. Rizzo received treatment during the pregame activities, but Madden explained his absence is more of a precautionary measure. So the Cubs looking to get back to their winning ways in Miami. Top 1, Chris Bryant sends one deep to left, and that one is gone. His 18th of the year gives the Cubs an early 1-0 lead. 2 batters later, with Ben Zobrist on first, Wilson Contreras continues his hot start with an opposite field blast to right. Quickly, it's 3-0 Cubs. After Chris Coghlan tripled, next batter is Javier Baez. He singles to center. That brings in Coghlan. Cubs are cruising up 4-0. Bottom 1, Addison Russell can't handle the Derek Dietrich grounder. Russell gets charged with an error on the play. A couple batters later, with 2 out, Giancarlo Stanton walks, that loads the bases. Next batter, Justin Bour, he hits one high and deep to center. It's over the wall for a grand slam, and just like that, we're tied at 4. The Cubs would settle down with a little help from their defense.
And that ball is caught, I believe. It is.
Baez's great catch helps Hendricks get out of the fourth. In the seventh, Ben Zobrist gets hit on the ankle. He would stay on the bases, but eventually lead the game. Later, the Cubs retake the lead. Contreras drills one into right center. Bryant scores, and the Cubs go up 5-4. In the eighth, Hector Rondon comes in looking for his second 4-out save in a week, and he gets Chris Johnson to strike out looking. Rondon would get a 1-2-3 ninth inning. And it's party in the city where the heat is on. Cubs beat Miami 5-4. Here's Todd Hollinsworth on the homer by Wilson Contreras.
And he's got opposite field power. And I mean, to do that in Miami is impressive. I mean, I think that's one thing that we're going to pick up on and we're going to see as his game starts to develop. Now, he's going to get challenged differently. He's getting pitches out away from him that he can do damage on and go the other way, fastballs away. I mean, the book is out a little bit on him, only because he's got a handful of games under his belt. Now, he's hit 3 home runs using center field and right field. We'll see as the game starts to adjust and challenge him a little bit more on the inside part of the plate, whether he can pull the ball consistently as well. But great to see. The approach works. I grew up with a Mike Piazza. He did it as well as anybody. I see that in Contreras. Understands how he's being pitched, how to keep his hands inside the baseball and drive it the other way with authority. Piazza's he's a Hall of Famer, so I'm giving him some pretty good kudos right now. But you know what, Contreras, listen, he's bringing it to the big leagues. He's the one of the number one prospects in baseball, certainly in the Cubs organization. So great to see him swinging the bat and having impact on this team already.
Coming up, we'll hit the hardwood for more reaction from Derrick Rose and why he would like to thank the Bulls for trading him. And Bulls top draft pick Denzel Valentine explains why he's not concerned with any lingering issues with his knees. And just how close were the Bulls to trading Jimmy Butler? We'll ask Bulls general manager Gar Forman when Sportsnet Central returns.
Sportsnet Central on Comcast Sportsnet is presented to you by GMC. We are professional grade.
This is what precision looks like, helping you see what's hard to see, thanks to Terrain Denali's Side Blind Zone Alert that uses radar to watch your blind spots. So it's true. Mom does have eyes in the back of her head. The new, meticulously crafted 2016 Terrain Denali from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade. Or get this low-mileage lease on this 2016 Terrain SLE1 for around $199 per month for 24 months. GMC. We are professional grade.
Nice car. Not so nice scratch. Wouldn't it be nice if removing ugly scratches from your car was this easy? Now with new Finish Scratch Doctor, removing surface scratches is easy. In fact, independent laboratory tests have proven Scratch Doctor to be the best scratch remover available. Scratch Doctor with advanced microtechnology also removes paint scrapes, scuffs, haze, and swirl marks. So get Scratch Doctor.
#1 rated Scratch Doctor, available at O'Reilly Auto, Home Depot, Pep Boys, Target, AutoZone, Walmart, and other leading stores.
Let me get a McPick. McDonald's McPick 2 menu. Try the new jalapeno McChicken, medium fries, 6-piece chicken McNuggets made with all white meat or a double cheeseburger. Choose any two for just $3. Only at McDonald's.
Ready, go. Dare to see Blue Man Group tonight at Briar Street Theater.
This is our magnificent mile and a half. These are our monsters of the Speedway. And this is our kind of town. This is Chicagoland Speedway, the Windy City's home for racing and summer's last big party. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup starts here. Get your tickets now at ChicagolandSpeedway.com.
When you were 8, you wanted to fly. When you were 13, to be a rock star. At 20, an artist. All these years later, you realize you had it right the first time. The 2016 Q50 from Infiniti. Lease the all-wheel drive Q50 2-liter turbo for $319 a month or finance at 0% APR at your local Infiniti retailer.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, Derrick Rose was introduced to the media today in New York. Rose announced he will wear number 25, which is what he wore at Simeon here in Chicago. And this was his response when asked why he was traded.
I would like to tell him thank you. For real. I mean, give me another star. I'm grateful to be where I'm at. You know, I could have been anywhere. Not saying all the other teams are bad places, but to be in this market, to be in a city where the legacy, I mean, the history of basketball, me coming from Chicago and just the rivalry from Chicago and New York type of way of playing basketball, like, man, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here. I feel like they're going to appreciate me a little bit more.
Earlier today, Rose tweeted this: Chicago made me who I am. Being drafted by the Bulls, becoming an all-star and an MVP on the Bulls, helping them make the playoffs, all of that was a dream come true. I understand that this is a business and the Bulls have their plans, but I'm going to use this as motivation. I was with them for 8 years and they let me go. There's no hard feelings, no grudges. They're trying to do what's best for the team. I totally understand that. I really believe this trade is a blessing. This is an amazing opportunity. I can't wait. I'm ready for New York.
With the 14th pick in the 2016 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Denzel Valentine from Michigan State University.
I'm not going to say, I promise I wasn't going to say this year we were shocked when he slipped to our spot. But we were optimistic that he would be on the board. He was the guy we targeted, and just thought he's a fit on so many levels.
We're joined now by the newest Chicago Bull, Denzel Valentine. A lot of fans expect you to have an immediate impact. What part of your game do you think is the most NBA ready?
I just think my ability to make plays definitely is NBA ready. My versatility is definitely NBA ready. The way I can come in and play 1 through 3, guard 1 through 3. I think that is valuable in today's game. And, you know, also I think, you know, my intangibles, you know, come in and ready to compete and not backing down from anyone, I think is going to be key.
You're obviously familiar with Jimmy Butler. How do you see your game complementing his?
Definitely think setting him up, you know, I'm feeding him. You know, with the ball, I've played with many great scorers and great shooters and things like that in my life, and I always play well with him. So, you know, he's always going to, you know, probably, you know, be the primary person, you know, feeding him the ball, making plays for him, and he'll lead us, and hopefully we can get this thing rolling.
There's been some concern since the combine about your knee. Why did an old football injury become a concern for team doctors, and are you concerned about your knee at all?
No, I'm not concerned. I've only missed 4 games in college, only missed a number of practices, so I'm very, you know, happy with my knee and way with my body is going right now. I'm healthy. I'm just going to keep continuing to get better, you know, get stronger, and hopefully I can play a long career in the NBA.
The draft is largely composed of one-and-done players. Do you think playing 4 years in college gives you an advantage?
You know, definitely learning the ups and downs of a season. It may not be an NBA season, but, you know, learning the ups and downs of a season, going through some adversity, playing against, you know, great players at a high level at Michigan State definitely made me NBA ready, and just be able to develop every single year. And I think my game is well suited now to go in and make an impact from the get-go, and you know, just ready to play.
Denzel, thank you so much for your time. And the Bulls will introduce Denzel Valentine to the media on Monday, and we'll have it for you right here on Comcast Sportsnet beginning at 11 a.m. The entire press conference will also be streamed at csnchicago.com. Jimmy Butler had a lot of people talking last night. Twitter nearly blew up with rumors swirling that he was close to being traded to the Celtics. After they selected Jaylen Brown at number 3, the trade talk then shifted to the Timberwolves and Tom Thibodeau. However, a deal never came to fruition, and at the end of the night, Jimmy remained a Bull. But exactly how close did the Bulls come to pulling the trigger? Our Mark Shanowski, Kendall Gill, and Vincent Goodwill caught up with Gar Forman last night to get the inside scoop.
All right, thank you very much. It's now our pleasure to be joined by Bulls general manager Gar Forman. You really got a versatile player in Denzel Valentine. This is the kind of kid who can contribute from day one. Were you excited to see him still on the board at 14?
We really were. I mean, we had a sense that he may be. So I kidded upstairs because Jerry Reinsdorf always says when we pick somebody, he says, so you were shocked they were there. And a year ago when Bobby Portis was still on the board, we really were shocked that he was there. We were hopeful that Denzel would be on the board, and we're really happy we were able to get him. I just think he's a fit in so many ways with what we want to do.
Gar, obviously, situation with the explosion of social media, a lot of wild rumors are going to hit the airwaves. During the early parts of the draft, you guys are being linked to a possible trades of Jimmy Butler to Boston, Jimmy Butler to Minnesota. Did you come close to anything in that regard?
No, and in fact, we were in the draft room, and it had probably been 6 or 7 picks. And then somebody saw something on the bottom of the TV that was reporting that, and somebody said, "Boy, Twitter's reporting this," and we didn't have a single talk, during the beginning of the draft. So I don't know where these things come from. Absolutely false. I don't know how you combat it, because it's always sources or rumors or whatever it is. But we had 0 trade talks tonight once the draft started.
Gar, we know that Valentine is a player that's capable of playing Fred Hoiberg's system. Is your major focus now to get players, whether that be through the draft from here on out or through free agency, to fit what Fred wants to do on the court?
Well, it's a piece of the puzzle. We want guys, because obviously we want to play with a little bit more pace, and we want certain things that Fred wants done offensively that we want to try to find guys that fit into that. But just overall in building our team, we just felt we needed to start to get, a little younger and start to add some athleticism. But you could see now our roster was starting to get a little bit older and the window is closing. And that's why we made the decision, this is a good time to change directions and start to go in a little bit different direction, and we're going to start to piece that together.
Carl, we know you're very busy. We'll let you go on this one. Obviously, the next order of business is free agency. Starts on July 1st, and it's going to be the Wild West out there with the explosion in the salary cap. Some guys who are just marginal rotation players are going to be getting exorbitant salaries. As you look ahead to your strategy on July 1st, you may have as much as $25 million to spend. Are you going to target one guy, or would you like to get several guys who can contribute?
Well, I mean, we're still trying to get a sense of what the market's going to be, and I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen come July 1, because there's never been anything like this where there's been such a spike in the cap. So we're still evaluating that. My guess would be, as opposed to one guy, we'll probably look to fill some holes and look for some guys that fit the plan moving forward and see where we can take it from there.
Promises to be a very busy summer, a very busy offseason ahead as the Bulls try to retool their roster with Derrick Rose now off to New York. We're going to send it back to the studio.
It was the first round of the NHL draft tonight, and even though the Blackhawks didn't have any picks, that didn't stop them from making news as another Stanley Cup champion finds a new home.
Help to the back. Oduya shot deflected. Scramble. They score! 2 goals in 17 seconds. The Blackhawks are Stanley Cup champions.
And we'll look back at one of the more memorable moments in Chicago history from just 3 short years ago when Sportsnet Central returns.
Pizza is perfect. Pizza with bacon cheeseburger on it, way, way more perfect.
Papa's Bacon Cheeseburger Pizza is back. And try our new Mushroom Swiss Burger Pizza. Just $10 each for a large.
PapaJohns.com.
Your home, your auto. They just go together. Combine your home and auto insurance with State Farm. Save time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to your State Farm agent today.
If there's one thing the human foot has always been good at, it's unleashing great power. Introducing the 255 horsepower Lexus IS 300 all-wheel drive V6 with 25% more base horsepower. The IS performance line has never been more powerful. Lease the 2016 IS 300 all-wheel drive with zero due at signing for $439 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Looking to transform your space with new color? Pull off a better paint job with Scotch Blue's new Platinum Painter's Tape. Easier one-piece removal with no slivering or tearing and ultra-sharp paint lines. With the tape's unique 90-degree tearability, you can directly apply to tight corners, providing protection from paint seepage for beautiful results. Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape offers the durability you're looking for to get the job done and pull off your design vision.
Something's irresistible at Subway restaurants. It's the steak and cheese footlong, and all June long, it's just $6. Covered with melty cheese and your choice of fresh veggies. This exclusive deal ends soon. Get your $6 steak and cheese footlong today. Subway, fresh is what we do.
Tomorrow on CSN Chicago, the Silver and Black go back on the attack as they face Toronto in Game 2 of the series. Coverage begins at 12:30 with White Sox pregame live, presented by the Koalas family of dealerships on CSN.
Last season, he was a sharpshooter, goal-crashing, lamp-lighting left winger. A rookie from Russia, the Breadman, Artemi Panarin. 2016 Calder Trophy winner.
Who can forget Andrew Shaw's I Love Shin Pads moment from the Hawks Stanley Cup run in 2013? But it was on this day just 3 years ago that the Blackhawks rallied late in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final against the Boston Bruins. Brian Bickle scored the game-tying goal with just a little over a minute left on the clock, and 17 seconds later, Dave Bolin scored the game winner to give the Hawks their second Stanley Cup in 4 years. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, Shaw is no longer with the Hawks. He was dealt to the Canadiens tonight for a pair of second-round picks, the 39th and 45th picks in tomorrow's draft. Shaw not the only one getting moved. The Blues traded goaltender Brian Elliott to the Calgary Flames for a second-round pick. And the Red Wings shipped Pavel Datsyuk's contract to Arizona. Datsyuk announced his retirement last week, but the Wings were on the hook for his $7.5 million cap hit for 1 more year. Our GMC professional grade player goes to Wilson Contreras, who hit a 2-run homer in the top of the first tonight and drove in 3 runs. Contreras has 3 home runs and 8 RBI in his last 6 games. The Cubs snapped their losing streak with a 5-4 win against the Marlins. Our play of the day is presented by Lexus. We go back to Miami. Javier Baez made a terrific play on Thursday that didn't count. He'd make up for that on Friday. Watch Baez as he leaps into the crowd to glove a foul ball. Baez does his best Josh Donaldson impression to rob JT Realmuto. This has been Sportsnet Central presented by GMC. I'm back at midnight with more sports news. Have a fantastic evening, everyone.
This is what precision looks like, helping you see what's hard to see, thanks to Terrain Denali's Side Blind Zone Alert that uses radar to watch your blind spots. So it's true. Mom does have eyes in the back of her head. The new, meticulously crafted 2016 Terrain Denali from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade. Or get this low-mileage lease on this 2016 Terrain SLE1 for around $199 per month for 24 months. GMC. We are professional grade.
Great time for a shiny floor wax, no? Not if you just put the finishing touches on your latest masterpiece. Timing's important. Comcast Business knows that. That's why you can schedule an installation at a time that works for you, even late at night or on the weekend if that's what you need, because you have enough to worry about. I did not see that coming.
Don't deal with disruptions. Get better internet installed on your schedule. Comcast Business, built for business.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema and available in 4K Ultra HD.
Saving the world takes a very special agent.
You need to seduce a woman in a green dress, and she's gorgeous.
Oh no, she is gorgeous. A sharp mind.
I'm a spy!
Our lips are sealed.
I know.
And unwavering courage.
It's gonna sink. Cars don't sing, that's a myth.
The Brothers Grimsby.
Find more movies in 4K on DirecTV Cinema.
A home is where life is lived. The unmistakable beauty and performance of Unilock pavers and walls enrich the quality of outdoor living, where perfect settings and cherished moments become memories that last a lifetime. Live life beautifully with Unilock.
Can't do it? Of course we can do it. Get to Arlington Nissan for great deals.
Right now, lease a 2016 Rogue S for $109 a month. That's $109 a month.
Be sure to see us before you buy.
Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman's Arlington Nissan, just east of Route 53 on Dundee Road.
We now join the following program already in progress.
Dozens of people were burned last night after walking over hot coals at a Tony Robbins motivational seminar in Dallas. At least 5 of those people had to be hospitalized.
Wait, so they got burned by walking on hot coals?
Yes.
Who would thought?
Who would have thought? Yep.
Andrew did some research on this.
Yes, McLevin.
Well, there are a lot of theories that if you basically your foot and the coals are not making contact for very long, and that's why you're not getting burned. Other people said if you're in a meditative state, the blood flow helps protect your skin. There's lots of scientific theories. It's not just sort of hocus pocus.
Now, we can't afford the hot coals. We can't. It's a safety issue here. We were going to try to get some hot barbecue briquettes and put them down and then have one of us walk over. Paulie instead came up with it's a substitute here.
It's a much safer version. It's walking on hot sauce.
Okay, so we have... is this barbecue sauce or is it...
It's Frank's Red Hot.
Okay, so
pretty
Fritzy doesn't have shoes on, and Fritzy is going to walk on this hot sauce.
Now, does he need to be motivated?
I don't know. He needs to be meditated.
Could you be Tony Robbins?
I can try. Fritzy, I need you to think. Think now how powerful you are. There's no pain. It's mind over hot sauce. I want you to walk on that hot sauce. But you know what you're walking on? It's like you're walking on ice cubes. You can do it. You can do it. All right, go. Oh, see? Oh, he's even walking back. My God.
He almost slipped.
I know. You did it.
I think it burned all the hair off his legs. He's got no hair on his legs.
You did it. You did it.
Smooth.
Look at those little legs.
He skipped leg day since birth.
The rarest thing in baseball is the triple play.
But with the new KoalasAutoGroup.com, you get a triple play every time.
Shop Lexus of Orland.
Orland Toyota.
Plus, Lexus of Maryville, all together on one site.
It's the selection and savings of all three exceptional members of the Koalas family of dealerships.
It's a triple play every time at KoalasAutoGroup.com.
Tomorrow on CSN Chicago, the Silver and Black go back on the attack as they face Toronto in Game 2 of the series. Coverage begins at 12:30 with White Sox pregame live, presented by the Koalas family of dealerships on CSN.
Yeah, I ride. One thing I've come to realize, there's no easier way to save on motorcycle insurance than switching to Geico. Saving money, that's something every rider should do.
What is that?
It's called ceviche, Gary. I learned to make it when I lived in Tonga.
Tastes like chicken.
You should get out more.
Geico Motorcycle. Great rates for great rides.
When I was just a young one, maybe pushing 10, somebody told me no, son, and I decided then I'm gonna dig my style, I'm gonna walk the same. Gonna keep on going, no, I don't see no end. With the prize I'm showing, you better tell your friends. You gonna dig my style, dig my style, dig my style.
CSN Chicago is giving you the chance to go behind the scenes with Kelly Kroll, presented by Coors Light. Tour the production truck, go on the field with Kelly, and much more. Enter for your chance to win at csnchicago.com/Coors Light.
Sunday night, get ready for a brand new episode of Beer Money. It's Chicago's favorite sports trivia show, where fans test their knowledge for a chance to win cash. Beer Money, presented by Coors Light, Sunday at 7 on CSN Chicago.
Bringing Jay Billis from the Mothership, covering the draft last night with the crew. Jay, good morning. How you feeling?
Dan, how you doing? Good to be with you, as always.
It's spectacular to have you on. Who will be an all-star first, Simmons or Ingram?
My guess is it'll be Simmons, but it's kind of like asking, whether it's going to be LeBron or Durant or something. I'm not sure that either of these guys are quite that good, but Simmons is the best all-around prospect I've seen since LeBron. I didn't think it was, while it was a reasonable question, you should certainly ask, which person would you take? I didn't think it was that hard of a decision for Philadelphia. I thought they kind of had to go the Simmons route because you just don't find guys like that very often. He's physically imposing. He's athletic. He's long. And he's incredibly skilled. The only thing that Ingram does better than Simmons is shoot right now, and I think he'll always shoot better. But I think Simmons will be a much better shooter than he's thought to be right now. And Dan, you saw him play a lot in college. I mean, you harken back to a guy like Grant Hill, who they're not similar in body style, but they're similar in skill set, except Simmons is a way better passer than Grant was at that time. But, Grant Hill, his first year, took 2 3-pointers, made 1. And that was it. And if he had come out after his freshman year like Simmons is doing, the knock on everybody say he can't shoot. And so it's kind of a similar, you're projecting a guy at that age as to what he's going to be, and I think Simmons is going to get much better as a shooter.
We're talking to Jay Billis of the Mothership. I had a former ACC coach tell me yesterday that I was off on Ingram because, everybody's caught up on his build, and he said, let's look at all the positives he does. If the negative is he's slight, look at all the positives that he does, and he's a really good player. He can get to the hoop, he can shoot, he's smart, and so I don't know. Am I missing something on Ingram? Is Ingram somebody who can contribute next year for the Lakers?
Yes. Is he going to lead? I don't know that any of these players now can come in at age 20 or 19, whatever. Ingram's a full year younger than Ben Simmons, so he's got that sort of arc of improvement to go. To get to the same age. He'll be better a year from now. But I don't think any of these guys are going to make the kind of difference that we would see years ago, like when Tim Duncan came into the league and all of a sudden you win 30 more games or whatever it was. I just don't see that kind of thing happening. It's too different now, and the players are younger. and they need a little bit more, a little bit of time to adjust. I mean, they're not. Simmons is built like a man yet, but he's not 21. He can't even go into a bar and order a drink. So it's kind of a different time. But Ingram's the real deal too. He's really good. It's kind of the issue of if you had. Trying to think. If you had LeBron, and I keep going back to LeBron, and neither of these guys are LeBron, but if you had LeBron and Durant in the same year, you take LeBron first and you wouldn't hesitate. But it doesn't mean that Durant's not really good. Like when Durant came out, I thought Oden, I would have taken Oden first, and I think I would have been in a long line of people that are claiming, that felt the same way and now are claiming differently. But when Durant was drafted, I mean, we were all saying, this guy's going to win a bunch of scoring titles. You knew he was going to be great. It's just, you saw something maybe a little bit better in another way with a different player. And that's kind of the way I feel about the Simmons-Ingram thing.
Any new draft cliches? The draft and stash?
Draft and stash, there's 3 and D. Stretch 4 has become a big deal now. Like everybody says stretch 4. So what's kind of crazy is we are dealing with positionless and stretch 4. Like if it's positionless, why do we care whether the guy's a stretch 4? So we should really just go with he can really shoot it.
Before I let you go, we had Patrick Ewing on, and I brought up some quotes that John Thompson made about Patrick and big men and how they're perceived as head coaching candidates. Is there a perception, a profile, a bias against taller coaches? As Patrick said, we always look at the point guard that he sees the floor, or if you're a big guy, you're on the floor just because you're a big guy, whereas the little guy has to be able to prove that he can play. Is there a bias that goes on?
I don't know if I'd call it a bias, but I do think there's something built in where, it's always the point guard that is the extension of the coach on the floor and the floor leader and all that stuff. And, I've known Patrick since I played against him when I was in high school in an all-star game. He's from the East Coast. I grew up out west and got to know him when we were both in college. And what a great dude. But he... I can't believe that he's not getting more attention as a coaching candidate, and he should be up there. But look at all the guys that are all these guys are guards.
Yeah.
And like I can't think of many big guys that are coaches right now. Larry Kristoviak's the coach at Utah, but outside of that,
well, Luke Walton.
It seems like if you're tall enough to ride the rides, you are disqualified from coaching. How
did you do against Ewing in that All-Star game?
I scored 14 points, and I was very proud of myself. He probably had like 28 or so, but one of my teammates broke the backboard before the game. We played at Pepperdine, and so that's what I do. Like I tell everybody, I played against Michael Jordan in college, and Ewing and I squared up against. He didn't even know who I was. I don't think he knew I was even out there, but I can claim that I played against him.
Does Jordan know you were on the floor?
Yeah, because I keep saying that I was. I keep reminding him. But I think he'd rather have the $500 million than the fact that we beat them the last time the two teams played.
Oh, so yeah.
I got that going for me, which is nice.
Hey, Jay, it was great stuff last night. Tell the crew congrats. It was a fun watch. Thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure, my brother. Thanks for having me.
That's Jay Billis of the Mothership. We'll talk to Ben Simmons, the rookie with the Sixers. This is the Dan Patrick Show.
You can always nail down a great deal at Arlington Acura. But trust is the best thing we build.
Right now, get 0% APR for 60 months on new Acura models, including the popular 2016 MDX and the 2016 TLX.
Be sure to see us before you buy.
Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman's Arlington Acura in Palatine, just west of Route 53 on Dundee Road.
Thank goodness. They've been to Lowe's. Lowe's plants are always grown for your area, so they're guaranteed to thrive in your garden for 1 whole year. So, instead of these plants shriveling and dying at the hands of these two, they'll get the distinct pleasure of observing this fine figure all year long. Drink it in, plants. I woke up like this.
A real test isn't taken in a classroom. Test drive the all-new Q7 or A4 today.
If you want your car to look like a cool million, trust Barrett Jackson Premium Car Wax with advanced polymers for unbeatable protection and a residue-free shine. Make your car look like a cool million. Try new Barrett Jackson Premium Liquid Car Wax, available at these fine retailers.
When your pain strikes, it's at the nerve level. Now, you can lidocaine your pain. New Icy Hot Lidocaine.
This powerful anesthetic penetrates quickly to desensitize aggravated nerves with the max strength lidocaine available.
Lidocaine your pain with new Icy Hot Lidocaine.
Dave owed back taxes. After being hit with a wage garnishment and a bank levy, Dave struggled with his finances. He thought all was lost. Then he found out about U.S. Tax Shield.
If you have been threatened with a wage garnishment, bank levy, or tax lien,
call 1-800-518-6335.
Sandra and Victor owed an enormous amount of money to the IRS. U.S. Tax Shield was able to reduce their tax debt so that they were able to maintain their lifestyle.
Owe $15,000 or more to the IRS or state? Call U.S. Tax Shield.
Call 1-800-518-6335.
A real test isn't taken in a classroom. Test drive the all-new Q7 or A4 today.
We bring in the 76ers rookie. He's Ben Simmons. Ben, congratulations. How you feeling this morning?
Thank you. I'm great. Heading to Philly right now, so can't wait to get there.
What position do you want to play in the NBA?
Point forward, for sure. I think that's the best position for me in my style of play. I think I can get a lot done in playing a point forward.
Is that
our normal group right now. We'll get the guys back. In the meantime, we just got to, winning tomorrow, you split a series, I'll take it. There was a lot of good things. I mean, Jason Hayward, this guy's been snake bit. I mean, he's hit balls hard at people, the double play ball, the line drive. He had some really good at-bats as a leadoff hitter. He's just very unlucky right now.
To hockey now, and after 5 years in the Indian head sweater, Andrew Shaw is now headed to Montreal. A somewhat surprising trade, as many experts thought the Hawks would have enough money to re-sign the fan favorite after dealing Teuvo Teravainen. But with extensions and raises looming for others, cap issues remain for the organization. And when talking to reporters earlier, Shaw sounded pretty disappointed that a deal didn't get done with the Hawks.
It was tough. I mean, I thought we were close. I love being in Chicago. Obviously, it's a second home to me, and a lot of great memories there. And had some fun playing there. I had a lot of friends and family in that city. So I'm going to miss it dearly, that's for sure. But I mean, for all the other contract talks, I mean that's all kind of not confidential, but it's the way it goes. You just got to move past it. I got a fresh start with a new team, and I'm excited about that, and it's going to be fun.
Well, here's a look at the 9 players the Blackhawks took Saturday in the NHL draft. The most notable player, second-round pick, Alex DeBrincat, who had 102 goals in 2 seasons in the Ontario Hockey League. The Hawks also took defenseman Chad Chris out of Boston University with the second of 3 second-round picks. Stan Bowman especially impressed with DeBrincat.
Well, we were really excited for the guys that we got. In particular, it's pretty special what Alex DeBrincat's been able to do. I don't know the exact number of guys who've scored 50 goals back-to-back in the OHL. It's a very small list, but he certainly is a competitive kid, and he really knows how to find the back of the net. So people talk about his size, but he did something that is rarely done. So really impressive performance for him, and we're excited.
Anyone who's willing to give me a chance, I appreciate. And, it hasn't been the easiest road, but, it's worked out well, and I'm really excited.
Well, speaking of the draft, the White Sox top pick, Zach Collins, is also hoping to make a big impact. And on Saturday, he got a chance to show off that power that scouts love so much.
This is our point of view. If there's a bar, raise it. Recognized by U.S. News and World Report as the best upscale midsize car for the money. This is the Acura TLX, and this is how we make it.
Visit your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Acura dealer for attractive offers on the TLX.
Be good. I'll see you later.
What we see.
You be a good boy, Leonard.
What we don't see.
I'm an animal.
What we hear. What we don't hear.
Hey, fellas, how's it going? Hey, fellas, how's it going?
What we imagine.
I miss her so much.
What we can't imagine.
This is my city. I know a secret route.
Okay, the secret route was death.
Come on! The Secret Life of Pets. Rated PG. Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
How do we explain God to his own son?
This path that he's on, I don't know where it leads.
You're invited to discover.
Am I dangerous?
No, but others are.
The life of Christ.
He will deliver us.
Like you've never seen it before.
Keep your power inside you until your Father in heaven shows you the time to use it.
He's just a child. He is not just a child.
The Young Messiah. Now playing on DirecTV Cinema. Movie start at Channel 125.
A message from the Pulaski Law Firm. You started there right out of high school. Learned your trade and did it well. And the asbestos you handled, well, that was just part of the job. If you worked in the trades and were diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available. Then call us. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court.
Call 800-236-6260.
And see how we can help. Mesothelioma. Don't fight it alone.
This is an important medical announcement for anyone suffering from back or knee pain. If you or a loved one suffers from back or knee pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, relief is only a phone call away. You can qualify for a pain-relieving back or knee brace at little or no cost to you. Call our pain management hotline today and also get free delivery. Stop living in pain because the brace you need is too costly.
Please call 800-954-4489.
We are back with our GMC professional grade player, White Sox second baseman Brett Lawrie. He became the first White Sox player since Ron Santo in 1974 to hit an inside the park and over the wall homer in the same game. The 7 homers tied a franchise record, but despite the loss, the Southsiders are still encouraged by the power surge.
As far as baseball goes, baseball's a weird game. The conversations we always have is it's a tricky game. You can never really predict it. Tough loss, but we know we won yesterday, and hopefully can take the series tomorrow. We've been playing some really good baseball the last week or so, with Boston, and now coming in here with a good opponent like Toronto. So hopefully we can continue to do that.
You were hoping there'd be a couple guys on. I figure hopefully we can get some guys on there in the ninth and get one up in the wind and see what happened. But I'm just glad the way the guys keep battling back offensively, and that's a good sign. We didn't win it today, but there's some guys that got some rest, and our guys swung the bat.
Well, before the game, White Sox first-round draft pick Zach Collins had a chance to take batting practice and meet a couple of his new teammates. The University of Miami catcher signed with the Sox on Friday and says he considers himself an offensive catcher. Collins hit .363 last season for the Hurricanes, and he will begin his professional career in Single-A Winston-Salem.
Well, I started catching when I got to high school, so I've always liked Brian McCann and Matt Wieters, and those are kind of guys I compare myself to, so I watch them a lot, and I've looked up to guys like Josh Hamilton and Chipper Jones and a lot of big-time players, so just excited to be here.
Plays of the day are presented by Lexus number 3, Padres and Reds. Fly ball you'll see here into shallow left field. Melvin Upton Jr. doesn't see it at all, but thank goodness Alexei Ramirez did. How about this for a pick-me-up? Very nice catch from Alexei. Underhand, Padres go ahead to shut out the Reds 3-0. Number 2, the Orioles down 4-0 to the Rays. Tampa Bay, bases loaded. Adam Jones gonna save at least 3 runs with that diving snag. A huge play in the 3rd inning because Baltimore comes back to win 8-6. And number 1, back to the south side. Brett Lawrie with 2 home runs. The first one, the ball actually stayed in the park, but just barely. Check it out. Hits the top of the wall. Comes on down into play there, and Lawrie almost stopped there on second, but still rounds the bases, and the Sox fall, however. This has been Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC. I'm Kelly Crawl. Thanks for joining us.
Be good. I'll see you later.
What we see. You be a good boy, Leonard. What we don't see.
I'm an animal.
What we hear. What we don't hear.
Hey, fellas, how's it going? Hey, fellas, how's it going?
What we imagine.
I miss her so much.
What we can't imagine.
This is my city. I know a secret route.
Okay, the secret route was death.
Come on! The Secret Life of Pets. Rated PG.
Get the hottest new movies with Xfinity.
Welcome to London, Mr. President.
Get down!
We're going to kill the president.
If it comes to it, I want you to kill me. That's an order. Oh, my God.
We'll get you out of here.
They don't know who they're messing with, do they? This suspenseful sequel is full of edge-of-your-seat action and non-stop intrigue. Own or rent London Has Fallen by visiting the movies section. Xfinity On Demand. Your home for everything entertainment.
This is our magnificent mile and a half. These are our monsters of the Speedway. And this is our kind of town. This is Chicagoland Speedway, the Windy City's home for racing and summer's last big party. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup starts here. Get your tickets now at ChicagolandSpeedway.com.
I love the variety on Zulily. I can find such great pieces that I can't find anywhere else.
At Zulily.com, every day you'll find a hand-picked selection of top brands and boutique styles at up to 70% off.
Zulily is fantastic. I find a great deal anytime I shop there.
And our mobile apps make it easy to shop on the go for the entire family.
Every day I go to Zulily, I see new, fun, unique items. It's always like a little surprise.
But hurry, our selection changes every day. Shop Zulily.com and start saving today.
If you're a golfer, then the Chicago District Golf Association has something for you. The CDGA is home to a state-of-the-art golf handicapping service, which allows golfers of all skill levels to compete on a level playing field. The CDGA sponsors and conducts more than 50 championships for amateurs, high and low handicappers, juniors, seniors, men and women. The CDGA is a leader in charitable causes that brings the game to those with special needs. The CDGA is truly for everyone who plays the game. Visit cdga.org for membership information and more.
Hi, I'm Chris Bryant, and you're watching the home for Cubs baseball, CSN Chicago, presented by State Farm.
Whatever, that's an out.
John Lackey voices his frustrations after the Cubs' latest loss. Hello and welcome, everyone, to Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC. I'm Kelly Kroll. The Cubs' fiery righty speaks his mind, but he also takes himself to task for blowing a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that before.
7 home runs somehow proved to be unlucky for the Sox. We'll take a look at how they joined the history books in unfortunate fashion. Plus, Denzel Valentine credits an NBA champ for paving his way to the pros. And Andrew Shaw tips his cap and bids farewell to the city of Chicago. It's Sportsnet Central starting now.
To Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
We start the show in South Beach. John Lackey on the hill. Wilson Contreras, who caught Lackey his last time out, starting in left, his 3rd position this week. Good news for the Cubs. Anthony Rizzo back at first. Miguel Montero back behind the plate and in the lineup after missing a few days with back and knee discomfort, respectively. Cubs down 1 in the 2nd. Montero, you bet he's feeling better, drives this one to right. And Montero's 4th home run of the season ties things up at 1. We move to the 3rd. Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo swinging early against Paul Clemens, who was making just his 2nd major league start. Both guys swinging at the first pitch, and both quick outs. So 2 outs already in the inning, but then things start to build up for the Cubs. Wilson Contreras draws a walk after a 7-pitch at bat. Javi Baez, and he gets flunked here by Clemens, maybe even a few words for him. Then it's Addison Russell at the dish with 2 outs.
Hitters count the 2-0. Driven out into deep left. Yelich going after it. It's gone. That's a 3-run homer for Russell.
Yes, his 7th home run of the season gives the Cubs a 4-1 lead. We move to the 4th. Marlins get back in it. A man on, and Justin Bour, a 25th round pick, keep in mind, by the Cubs in 2009, goes upper deck on John Lackey, and the Cubs lead is trimmed to 4-3. To the 5th, Ichiro, just 17 hits shy of 3,000. Gonna ground this one to short. Russell gloves it, but his throw to first, a little bit low, and this is ruled a hit and an error. Ichiro now on 2nd, and Lackey not happy about it. You'll hear from him in a moment regarding that play. Martin Prado next. Lines 1 to left, and Ichiro will come around to score. Game tied at 4. Giancarlo Stanton then becomes the 4th consecutive Marlin to reach here on the soft single to center, and it will give Miami a 5-4 lead. John Lackey's afternoon done. He was on the hook for a couple more runs. 4 1/3, 7 earned on 7 hits. Lackey walks 3 in his shortest outing of the season as the Marlins beat the Cubs 9-6. Afterwards, the righty still bothered by the Ichiro infield single that began that Marlins big 5th inning.
Yeah, just a little yeah.
To start off with an infield hit. I don't know what planet that's a hit on, by the way, but that's a flat-out out. But yeah, I got to do better than that. We got 4 runs with where we're at right now as a team. 4 runs needs to be enough to win that game. I feel like I'm giving up a lot of those kind of infield hits. Yeah, I mean, whatever. That's an out.
Well, Addison Russell, who made the error on that play, told ESPN.com this after the game: "I need to do a better job cutting down on the errors. They're going to capitalize, and they did 2 nights in a row." Keep in mind, Russell's first inning error Friday night also allowed the Marlins to extend the inning and eventually tie the game at 4 after the Cubs had taken an early 4-0 lead. Well, still to come on Sportsnet Central, John Lackey turns his frustrations from the fielding behind him to himself, the veteran, on the key at-bat that led to his downfall against the Fish.
We play foul tip. Coach got thrown out. It was baseball in a nutshell, to be honest with you. And I was telling Donaldson at first, I said, man, that's why we play this game. How fun is this? And he's like, this is right. So it just seems like you see everything in baseball until the next day.
Todd Frazier couldn't have said it any better. One day after Sox closer David Robertson played with fire in the 9th inning, the Sox bats caught fire in historic fashion at U.S. Cellular Field. This time around, the White Hawk Flames, however, were squelched, and Robin Ventura's club ended up on the wrong side of history. Miguel Gonzalez getting the start for the White Sox. 2nd inning is where we'll pick this one up. Sox in a bit of a hole already, down 3-0, and Devin Travis digs a deeper hole for the Sox as that one goes deep. 2-run dinger sends the Jays lead to 5-0. But in the bottom half here of the inning, the Sox go to work, chipping away. It's Brett Lawrie here who sends one deep to center. It bounces off the top of the wall there and back into play. We know this guy has wheels, and number 15 turns that into an inside-the-park home run. Sox on the board. Next batter is Deano Navarro, who makes some nice, solid contact here. It's over the fence and right, and puts the Sox within 3. J.B. Shuck now at the plate.
Shuck drills it to right field. Carrera looks up, and they have gone back to back to back.
Shuck's first home run since April 2014. Needs some high fives here. Gets him a few of those and gets the Sox within 2. We move to the bottom of the 4th. Sox trailing 8-3 now. But Lawrie gets after it again, and this time there's no doubt. Over the wall and left it goes. He becomes the first White Sox player to hit an inside the park and over the fence home run in the same game since Ron Santo did it in 1974. Sox trailing 8-4. Bottom 6. Lawrie just showing off against his former team. Everyone likes to do that, don't they? The single to center brings home Todd Frazier. 3 RBIs on the day, give him 30 for the year, and the Sox back within 3. And the home run show only halfway through. In the 7th, it's Tim Anderson. Blasts this one towards the Sox pin. 2nd home run of his career, a solo shot, makes it an 8-6 ball game. Then in the 8th, the red-hot Alex Avila hits his 3rd home run of the season, and the Sox now only down a run. But in the 9th, the Blue Jays going to get some insurance here from Edwin Encarnacion, who hits this one off the wall you'll see here in center, and that'll bring on home Josh Donaldson to make it a 2-run game. And the next batter, Troy Tulowitzki, rips this one down the left field line. Encarnacion then scores to make it a 10-7 game. But don't count out the Sox just yet.
Eaton in the air, left center field, taking it for the alleyway. Adam Eaton goes deep. My goodness, that ball carried. That's a